All right, what did you think of that opening, man?
I I I need a beat there. We're gonna have to come back to me. Come back. No,
Oh no,
that was pretty awesome, actually.
oh yeah, it was. We made it to Nightman, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, we made it to the one property that survived through the Marvel acquisition and even got its own fucking TV show.
that's amazing in and of itself. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
yeah.
I was not prepared for that. So I'm glad I went in cold.
Yeah. So for for those that do not know what happened in the opening music, that is the opening theme song for the Nightman TV show. Which I think you can find on Amazon Prime. I've been rewatching it lately, and
Yeah, it's streaming somewhere, so probably Prime.
if you're okay with absolute 90s cheesiness, like, you're gonna love it. And
Yeah.
I love it. Does it relate well to the comic? Nah.
That's pretty much par for the course for the '90s.
Yeah. So here we go. Nightman. We got Steve Englehart, Darick Robertson, kind of creating our Batman, Shadow Man-esque character of the Ultraverse.
Yeah, certainly leaning more Shadow Man probably than Batman.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Daredevil.
yeah, a little Daredevil in there too. We've got Dave Lanfer on Letterer again.
Yep. So, man, I'll tell you what, though. When I saw this cover on the stand, so Nightman was one of those books I collected regularly back in the day. I totally dug it as a kid. It was like my opportunity to kind of cash in on like the dark superhero from a number one, thinking like, dude, this is it. And it's Nightman. Like, that's the name. That is the name that all these characters should have. Daredevil, Batman. Like, what? It's like, it's Nightman. That's like perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Love the cover. in reading this one, I remember having this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have to play it by ear because I honestly don't remember how many I bought of Nightman.
Yeah.
But I did buy this one. Yeah, I think I bought most of the number ones. But no, that is a cool cover. And again, like, since you know Breakthrough better than me, but another, I don't know if this one's intentional since it fits with Nightman's theme, especially since there's a moon in the Nightman brand. But yeah, a little moon action.
Yep. We're getting ever closer to Breakthrough. It's on the horizon for sure. All right. So here we go. Here's our splash page. Steve Englehart, writer. Darick Robertson, penciler. Andrew Pepoy, inker. Like you said, David Lamphere as letter. Love it. Paul Mounts, color designer, and Food Hammer as interior colors, which tells me it was a group of fellas.
Yeah.
We got
not as bad this time as the last time we had a group of colors.
Yeah. We got Chris Solomon, Hank Canals as editors, ladies and gentlemen. So, splash page. This Snake Eyes looking fella, like, jumping off of these buildings. I was like, 100%, let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, for me, it looked more like he was diving street level. He is jumping from a a roof level, but it looks like he's diving for second base in a night game right there.
You'll find this guy is way more adept at street level fighting than he actually should be, even though we're going to kind of get through some antics here.
Yeah.
See, he's jumping down onto this building, and I don't really understand like kind of what's happening here because it never gets fully returned to this. He's like tackling after these guys that are stealing TVs. You get his face, and then we get like literally a 2-second recap of his origin, which his origin started in Strangers. He was one of those people on the cable car.
No, he's in the car that is in the car.
The car, yes,
next
thank
to
you.
It.
Thank you. Next to it. And then was kind of in a coma. The Strangers even kind of mentioned him, even went to go see him, and then he woke up from it. and his main side effect is that his pupils are fully dilated all the time. So the sunlight's too bright for him. So he has to wear
like any light. Yeah. Like light of any kind will jack with him.
And also, he apparently is able to hear the evil thoughts coming out of people.
Which, I mean, if you're going to be a crime fighter,
I mean, it seems like the most perfectly attuned power for crime fighting. So this guy has this like evil thought, and he's like, oh, and he's trying to figure it out. And kind of even follows the guy a little bit and is trying to figure out, can I hear all thoughts? Oh, I think it's just evil thoughts. And at one point he even tries to tell the police about it, which is kind of random because it's just like, hey, I'm this guy, Johnny Domino, and I blow the it's not that I even play the saxophone. I blow saxophone. Maybe you've heard of me. There's a man in the knife store, and I have reason to believe he's going to kill someone. And they're just supposed to be like, oh, okay, we'll go. Like, what is your reasoning? Right. Yeah, like what the hell? So here's the thing I'm going to say about this book. I liked this book just fine. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to reading more. But my God, this book is just the jazz promo book. Every single page in this book is, did you know I'm a jazz player? By the way, I'm a jazz player. By the way, I play jazz, just so you know. Oh, did you know about jazz?
Yeah. Whew. Well, and so a part of me, and I can't imagine that it is, but part of me was hoping that it was choppy and chaotic like this in the pacing to nod to jazz. That there's no, like, there's no stability in, it's just riffing. I doubt that's the case. I think it's more just we got to hurry up and put as much into this as we can as far as laying out what he can do. Yeah, because we don't actually even get him playing jazz. It's just about him talking about playing jazz through this whole fucking book. And he used to. There's a bunch of CDs. He was quite adept.
Yeah, he's like the Kenny G of the Ultraverse. Well, like that's something. Never mind. You know what I mean. All right, so he follows this guy. He is interacting with this waitress, and he believes this guy is going to attack the waitress. And then so he gets caught spying on them, runs away, goes home, and he's kind of like considering this whole thing about what he can do to stop this guy from murdering this girl. There's an explosion or something at his home, and that confirms to him that like he's not crazy.
Yeah,
that's not really explained,
right?
Like, what was the explosion? Like, what happened? Did his window
did it have anything to do with him? Or
right,
was it just outside?
Yeah, it was just his window blew out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not crazy." So I guess this takes us back to the beginning where he kind of lands on this rooftop. He decides, like, I'm going to dress all in black and I'm going to go out and test these new powers of mine.
What's the Ultraverse MO at this point? Like, you have a flashback of your origin in the midst of action where you should be focusing, but instead the mind wanders.
Right. And by the way, this is Darick Robertson early work too. This is long before Transmetropolitan, which is like almost a magnum opus of his in terms of work. Like, still really adept, really solid work here. Great pacing. I understand everything that's happening. So he attacks these bad guys. What is fun to watch is that he's not good at this, right?
He's he shouldn't be. Like your point earlier, he just he's fit and he can hear evil thoughts, but that doesn't mean that you can hold. Oh, and he did take
a keto.
So he's got some martial arts experience, but
but that's different than actually having experience in street level fighting.
Right. He's not Daredevil all of a sudden. Yeah,
so he's kind of getting his ass handed to him, gets kicked off of the building even, tries to use a grappling hook, doesn't use it right. Great lettering. Goddamn Tim Hildred. You're the shit.
Well, this one's Dave Lanford.
Oh yeah, Dave Lamford. I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Still good letter.
Yeah. No, it's well
Falls,
placed.
hurts himself, gets angry that he hurt himself, and tries to go back at it again. Gets his arm hurt, so he's like finding all these like cases where, oh, this didn't work, that didn't work, that I had, which was kind of fun and realistic-ish.
Yeah, because in real life you're dead.
Yeah, in real life you're dead. Clock's the guy. I thought this was interesting. It's like we got a little bit of snot coming down his nose.
Yeah.
Thought that was
weird
fun.
detail.
Yeah. Cops come and he takes off. And he decides, I'm going to go to this restaurant to meet up with this waitress and see if I can like dissuade her from going out with this guy. Because this guy who's stalking her asked her out. And he's getting watched by someone else. He's like, somebody else is watching me. But she's like, no, I'm already going out with a guy. I can't go out with you. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, damn it. So he goes to this, like, this, I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
This was a weird little exchange.
So there's this Carnival Land area at the beach, kind of like, one of those, what are those, like, help me out, like
it's
the area,
like
the area in Lost Boys and
right, like it's Santa Monica Pier there.
Yeah, Santa Monica Boulevard, like a place like that by the.
It's like a Coney Island.
Coney Island, thank you. That's what I was looking for, but it's abandoned.
Right.
And that was like, that's like kind of fucked up. There's some kind of cool imagery that's like, this is kind of creepy. But his dad is like a security guard there. And goes to like meet his dad. His dad's really cool, which his dad was like in the TV show is actually like a cop,
right?
And they're close buddies.
Okay,
but anyway,
at this point, I've seen the show enough to know. I mean, I knew what we were into when this episode started, but because to me, this whole sequence reads Dad's about to die,
right?
To me,
yeah. Because
if he's a regular in the show, then maybe not.
This is where we got our corporate angle. This guy's trying to come in to buy over this place to create like an estate or something.
Yep.
And kind of borderline threatening. This is a cool image. That's just a cool fucking image, by the way. I just need to give props to it.
No, like, that is
creepy and just a neat bit of architecture. But anyway, they basically run him off, and they both call him a scuzzwipe at the same time. They laugh about it, and then while the dad goes around to do rounds, he gets in and gets his dad computer codes so he can log into the police database at home to be able to kind of look up the dude and find out what he's up against. And what he finds out is the guy is a missing person. So, which is weird, because the guy is logged as missing. So he decides to amp up his suit based upon what he learned. He needs pads. He needs his hair flowing in the wind.
Yeah. He tweaks one of the visor things.
Yeah, tweaks one of the visors to make them smaller. One of them's a variable telephoto lens. But he does this so he can breathe better. But why his hair needs to flow, I don't understand. But the pads and everything, it all makes sense. So within the context of him getting his ass kicked the night before, it all made sense. So this is my big annoyance with this issue, but it actually has more to do with the marketing of Ultraverse, because it's what's the problem I have with modern horror trailers. This sequence right there was everywhere. This ad was everywhere. So I already knew that when he went to go find the woman, I didn't know all the context exactly, but I knew she was bad. Yeah.
And so the whole reveal got ruined for me.
Yeah, it's the reveal. It's the reveal of the whole thing. The waitress is actually her face was taken by Death Mask, this like guy creature thing, whatever,
right,
that
who had
takes
killed
off.
the old, like the Victor or whatever his name was
Right.
first, took his, then he came and like killed her already, took her face.
Oh,
So I didn't get that. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know all the ins and outs, but I knew as soon as Nightman got here, as soon as he found her place, he was in trouble because she was the bad.
yeah.
And that's on marketing, and that sucks because I mean it's a dope Darick Robertson image. Like, she looks menacing as hell in that bottom left one. She looks even more so on the bottom, on the other page. But yeah, I was so annoyed with marketing.
Yeah, literally, there could have been other sequences they could have used before this. Come on. I mean, this like, even this alone could have been enough to draw people to it.
Right.
I just like, yeah, I am 100% with you on that.
That's really my biggest complaint. It's not even this issue's fault so much, like I said, marketing.
Yep, all marketing. So they, yeah. So here's this whole sequence where Death Mask takes off on a boat. He takes off and steals a boat, and they run into each other. There's this like, there's some pretty cool sequences here. Some like body horror stuff, which I'm sure. So where he just understands, oh my God, he cut her face off. He cut Victor's face. Like, he goes around just stealing people's faces and putting them on.
Yeah.
But then I guess after he does that, he puts on like a mask on top of that, because then here he's like wearing just like this like weird like villain mask, and they have this fight on the ocean side, and is able to like, you know, toss him off, and then a shark comes, and then he goes underwater. But this was a fun sequence.
This whole sequence was very EC Comics to me, with the storm and the boats and the water and the knife and the bloody face. Like, I loved all of this. Literally, it's just the ruin of the reveal that just spoiled the issue for me.
Well, and this is where we got to see a lot of Darick Robertson's strengths, because he's like great with everything. But here, like, to talk to that EC element, we get a lot of like the darks, like the black inks with like the white streaks going through to represent the wetness and the rain, and just like the motion and movement, like
glints on the knife. And,
100%. Like, this was rocking it. Totally kick-ass few pages here. Loved it.
Yeah. Well, and especially the little stinger at the end too, where, well, you were there, right there, where his hand comes back up with the knife. So
so he's like, he didn't get rid of Death Mask at all. So that's going to be hopefully a regular recurring character in the future. As he makes his declaration of, I am the Nightman, which I was like happy with. Okay, I love freaks, but it was like, man, and Strangers was like this too. Did we really need like 3 full issues to come together as a team? We got one issue. You're who you are now. Let's go for it. Let's get the series started.
Right.
So I was good with that.
Done in one. Yeah. I am the same. Like, I'm ready now. We get it. It's a simple premise. He's going to take on the horror side of Ultraverse, and I am here for it.
Yep. I agree. And now we've got our...
This was actually the first part of Rune, wasn't it? No, this is C. This is C. This is the third part still.
I couldn't do it. It's
wait, this is the first part, yes.
It's beautifully rendered. Beautifully rendered, but I just couldn't sit through any more Rune prequels. I'm sorry. So if you have anything that you want to say to the audience...
No, I mean, at some point, I don't know that it would be a bad idea for us to just read the Rune sequences in order to see if there's anything of note. Because, I mean, he's a player, so at some point we're going to need to fully understand kind of the gist of what's going on here. But taking it in 3-4 page chunks at the end of an issue I've already read, that I just finished reading, it's not working for me either.
It's too much, man, especially as this has been spaced over the span of like months.
Yeah. Now, Mighty Magna, on the other hand, all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Tons of fun. God. Sergio is just like one of the greatest cartoonists of all time.
Hands down.
Perfectly just knows how to pace everything, knows how to... Ugh.
He is a massive, massive influence on me. Huge.
Fucking anytime he does that character's face with that fucking... I love it.
Derpy face. Yeah.
Oh, God, Sergio.
At some point, I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, so, you know, we're already going to do Valiant on my channel at some point, but I would not at all be opposed to doing a Gru reread. Or at the very least doing, like, you know, if not Gru, I mean, he's got, I just discovered, I didn't even know this existed, but he's got Boogeyman, which is him doing horror, but in Sergio Aragonés's way of doing horror, like it's goofy horror.
That's fun.
So, and it's only 6 issues, so I'm gonna get my hands on that at some point. I think that's gonna be my next back issue hunt. But
Mighty
anyway.
Magnor is actually fun. I've got the first 2 issues of it.
Yeah, that's only 12, I think.
Yeah, but it's a good like parody of superhero creation, you know, and it's got the creators and like the process of creating superheroes and parodies that, and it's a parody of a parody, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas,
at some point though, it's like, how many of these rereads can we are still writing and drawing on our own.
We're gonna live for a long time.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep reading comics and talking about them.
Oh, well, why not? All right. Well, I mean, I enjoyed this. Nightman was good. It's not my top.
No, it could have been. It would have been higher for me without the ruin of the reveal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, it's probably the top of the middle.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, it's not bottom tier by any stretch, because I agree that I like that it's done in one. Like, we got his origin. Here it is. Boom.
Yeah. I really am getting tired of the rune marketing though. Like, it's like, come on guys, this is like, so I'm just done. I'm done. Like, Ultraverse just started. Like, it can't just be all based on rune.
Right. Well, and clearly it didn't work, so didn't save them or anything. So,
but nope, this is good. It was cool to see Darick Robertson as her earlier dates, and Steve Englehart, I think, had a little bit more room to play with one character rather than having a whole collection of characters and strangers.
Right.
You know, so it was good. I enjoyed it. All right. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron's got Yon the Vagabond out. You can get exclusive or like early content of that on his Patreon. I have Simon Myth Chronicles out. My four issues out so far. You can get early screenings on my Patreon. Buy my books. Thanks a ton.
Buy all the things.
Buy them all. Support us, and keep it psycho.